6 p.m. in Batibo in the Momo division of the northwest region of Cameroon, same time in Douala, Cameroon's economic capital city. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the primetime newscast on Equinoxe television with me. For me, I'm Sean Sander. In our top stories tonight, 19 high-profile officials and private contractors are facing the heat in Cameroon as Cameroon's Supreme State Audit, the Census, summons them to account for alleged mismanagement. The March 19 summon issued by Minister Rose Mba-Acha Fomondam gives them just days to appear before the Census on March the 17th, 2026. Is this the crackdown Cameroon needs? Is a question we'll be answering in this edition of the news. Plus, tears, anger, and cries filled the air outside the Glaucoma District Hospital in the Douala 3 municipality, especially at the morgue this morning, as Dame Teclair, who was brutally killed by the ex-husband, was removed from the hospital mortuary amid mourners. A disturbing situation after what happened at the CCC neighborhood of the city of Douala. It is a community mourning, a family shattered. Immaculate Fogo will be telling us on this story in this edition of the news. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thanks for choosing to be informed by the best of television network across Cameroon. This is Equinoxe Television. We are live from Douala. Douala is Cameroon's economic capital city. It is the central news desk of the Equinoxe radio and television media group. Now, we're starting with one of our top stories to say that in the city of Douala, emotions ran high this morning outside the morgue of the Glaucoma District Hospital. That's in the Douala 3 municipality, as Dame Teclair, killed recently by the ex-husband, was being removed from the morgue. The mother of 3 was fatally attacked by a machete, or with a machete, by the ex-partner at the CCC neighborhood of the city of Douala. It was a shocking scene as captured by reporter Immaculate Fogo in the following report.
Tears welling up in Louise Zukep's eyes as she watches her sister's corpse being removed from a morgue in Douala.
Je n'ai pas la force.
At the Glaucoma District Hospital's morgue, grief and outrage fills the air. The victim's loved ones are struggling to come to terms with the sudden loss of a woman they describe as sociable, generous, and full of life.
Une grande sœur, une amie, une adhérente.
She was more than just a sister. She was a friend, a guiding light, simple, happy, and always looking for peace. She avoided conflicts and offered wise words when needed. Her passing leaves a huge void, especially in a community where she was an active member.
Éviter trop les problèmes en fait. Conseiller.
Une femme de paix, une femme.
A kind-hearted, peace-loving, hard-working soul struggled daily to provide for her children. She went above and beyond just to be killed in the most brutal manner.
Elle est de notre communauté, elle faisait partie de notre.
Dame Teclair Kolo, a mother of 3, was brutally killed by her ex-partner with a machete on January 23rd at the CCC neighborhood in Douala. Her marriage had turned sour and she made the tough decision to live with her kids. According to her, she had tolerated enough. Sadly, her ex didn't let go, tracking her down to her new neighborhood where he chopped her with a machete.
Ça fait 20 ans cette année qu'ils sont ensemble.
They had been together for 20 years and married for 2 years. Her and her husband haven't been in good terms, reason why she decided to leave her matrimonial home with her kids. She told us that she had tolerated a lot in her marriage, reason why she couldn't stay anymore because it may turn out deadly. The man still followed her to her new residence to kill her.
Les enfants vont rester avec sa petite sœur.
Her 3 children, aged 19, 7, and 2 years old, are now left to grapple with a trauma. Meanwhile, the ex-partner is currently in custody at the Newville Central Prison awaiting trial. The family is demanding for justice.
Sad ride. Tensions still in Douala run high at the Bois de Serge neighborhood, this time around in the Douala 2 municipality, with residents protesting against the presentation of a land title by an individual over a portion of land they say they've been occupying for more than 7 years. The local inhabitants, angry by the unfolding situation, stormed the premises of the quarter head, who listened to them and later promised that he was taking their grievances to hierarchy. We have details with Siddiq Chakuchu.
Holding placards with grim faces and shouts of anger, residents of Bois de Serge in the Douala 2 subdivision demonstrated their discontent. The cause of this frustration is the presentation of a land title belonging to an individual for a land previously occupied by uninformed local residents.
So we have come here this morning to see the chiefs, lay on to him our complaints, our grievances, that for some time now, for long, we have not been sleeping. Because most often they come and tell us that we will be chased out, they will displace us. We have been hearing rumor. So this morning time, and yesterday, our chief received some menace, and to the extent that he was aggressed, they aggressed him. So we came here this morning. Even some of us in the quarter, we have been facing a lot of indirect or direct aggress. So we have come here this morning to lay on our chief. That is enough, because we are now afraid.
An eviction operation is looming in the neighborhood, even though, according to the victims, they themselves developed the area in the past.
Since almost 6 to 7 years, we happen to learn that there's a land title that was put in place, titling all our lands. Almost the land, we happen to have an access to the land title. We realized that an individual came, title on our value and in our houses. So we came together. Since then, we have been in battle with them to see that the land title should be annullated, because it was being put on our land in a fraud way.
They say the revised ordinance states that whoever developed the public area, that is the marshy area, must obtain a temporary land title.
How will people come and try to entitle the land, a land where people are staying there, more than 3,000 houses?
The quarterhead, aware of the situation, tried to calm the anger of the angry mob.
Et ce matin, je reçois de vous ces quelques doléances. Oui, je vais les porter au niveau de ma hiérarchie.
According to him, a team of professionals were required to inspect the site and verify its condition.
Respecter les institutions démocratiques et républicaines et toutes les personnes qui les incarnent.
These, he says, are the resolution taken after a meeting was organized in the presence of the divisional officer of the Douala 2 subdivision.
Monsieur le préfet, la commission ad hoc pour le retrait de ce titre foncier, cette commission ad hoc doit descendre dans les jours prochains.
The more than 3,000 inhabitants are waiting for concrete solution in this matter.
And the state of Cameroon seemed to be intensifying its fight in crackdown against corruption, corrupt individuals, and embezzlement. As part of these measures, the news is that some individuals have been summoned, 19 in numbers, including officials, top contractors of the private sectors, who have been summoned to appear before the Supreme State Audit Office, popularly known in its French acronym, the Census, not later than March the 17th, 2026. The summon was issued on March the 9th, 2026 by Rose Mba Achan Fomundam, who is Cameroon's Minister Delegate at the Presidency of the Republic in charge of the Supreme State Audit. We have details with Equinoxe.
The summon was issued on March 9 by Rose Mba Acha, Minister Delegate at the Presidency of the Republic in charge of the Supreme State Audit Office. According to official documents, the concerned individuals are expected to appear over urgent matters concerning them. Among those called up are several former and current divisional officials from key government ministries, including the Ministry of Basic Education, the Ministry of Public Works, the Ministry of State Property, Surveys and Land Tenure, and the Ministry of Public Contracts. The list includes former divisional delegates, administrative staff and school authorities, notably a former regional delegate of basic education for the Central Region, a former divisional delegate of public works from Funzi, and a former director of the government's primary school of Galim II. Private sector actors involved in the public contracts are also concerned. Representatives of several companies, Sofrelec, GA Business, Zaan, Ecodis Cameroon, as well as the Director General of Zavo Services have equally been summoned. Their appearance before the state audit body raises questions about the management of public funds and the execution of certain public contracts. Created in 2005 and reorganized in 2013, the Supreme State Audit Office is responsible for auditing public institutions and ensuring the proper management of state finances. Operating under the authority of President Paul Biya, the institution can sanction financial misconducts through the Budgetary and Financial Disciplinary Council, with penalties that may include heavy financial sanctions and, in some cases, criminal proceedings. All of those summoned are expected to appear before the institution no later than March 17, 2026.
And in its annual report for 2025, the Southwest Region's Office of the Public Independent Conciliator revealed that waste management is still a preoccupying issue in most municipalities of the region, and also that several localities remain enclaved across the Southwest. The report also revealed that there have been some significant improvements in the issuance of birth certificates. Rexafon in Buya has gone through the 122-page document and highlighted some of the issues for you in the following report.
The 2025 report of the Office of the Public Independent Conciliator for the Southwest Region assesses service delivery across the region's municipalities. Spanning 122 pages, the report highlights notable achievements such as Limbe City Council's Youth Employment Program, which benefited numerous young people, and construction of low-cost houses, easing housing challenges for some families. However, residents raised concerns over irregular collection of waste and recurring flood along Manga Williams Avenue. In Kumba, citizens applauded the City Council's significant infrastructural improvement but criticized accumulation of uncollected waste in residential areas and slow market store allocation procedures. Mundemba also has seen improved connectivity with the construction of a bridge over River Ma, though many villages in the municipality and in other parts of Ndian remain difficult to access. The report also notes progress in issuing civil status documents, but highlights that approximately 80% of localities in Lebialem and also those in Tinto, Eyumojok and Guti are still relatively inaccessible. During the report's presentation in Buya, the Public Independent Conciliator emphasized that the document's purpose is not to downplay the efforts of municipal executives or overly praise others, but to provide objective assessment aimed at improving service delivery.
We've proposed the way forward, made recommendations, especially as to how municipal authorities should be voted. The law exists already that they should be residents. So we have made some recommendations that we expect that the report should be digested and, if possible, taken so that services delivery can be much more effective, especially in the municipalities of the region that are regaining normalcy.
Copies of the report have been forwarded to the Presidency and other competent authorities as mandated by law.
And on to education, stakeholders in the technical educational sector have called on the government of Cameroon to invest in technical education as it is the backbone of the country's development. They say they made their pleas during the Open Business Day for technical colleges across the nation. Among their needs includes the improvement of equipment in the workshops. Simat Njikan Gabriel followed the commemoration of the Open Business Day for technical education in schools in Kumba and the Meme Division and Banga in the Mungo Division of the Litwa region. His report.
At one of the workshops in the Government Bilingual Technical College in Kumba, the representative of the Senior Divisional Officer of Meme met obsolete equipment installed in the school since its creation still in use. Lack of equipment is one of the main problems faced by this technical institution based in Meme Division, a problem shared by many others in the country. Our main problem is that our workshops are not well equipped. Technical colleges are not given the desired attention which is needed. The government needs to reinvest a lot on technical education because it is from there that the future engineers and technicians are being trained. Apart from the old and bad equipment in workshops of technical colleges, the Government Bilingual Technical College of Mbanga in the Mongo Division has other key problems. We have teachers who don't come to work, limited classrooms and sitting benches. We are using this opportunity to beg on good Samaritans to come to our rescue. The Open Business Day for technical colleges in the country was an occasion for the students to showcase some of the handwork done by themselves while in school. It is a day that the technical colleges showcase the product that students have made in their different workshops. On this day, primary school pupils and others are invited. This is to enable those at primary school to already know what they want to specialize on. The event in Banga was chaired by the divisional officer, Nkefo Christian, who used the occasion to call on students as well as the teachers to be pace setters because the growth of the country lies in their hands.
And still in education, unveiled on March the 10th, 2026 in Yaoundé, Cameroon, the 2025 session ranking once again placed the Liberman College of the city of Douala at the top with a 100% pass rate. In total, over 2,123 schools presented candidates for the official exams with an overall pass rate of over 45% and some over 200,000 candidates admitted. Sadiq Chakuchu tells us more in the following report.
The ranking of schools in the 2025 official examination is now available. It is contained in a presentation published by the Baccalaureate Board, which is the body responsible for organizing the baccalaureate and probatoire examinations in Cameroon. The document gives the name of the first 10 schools, in which Liberman College is followed by Jean Tabi College with a total of 98.80% and Vogt College with a total of 99.69% success rate. For the second consecutive year, Liberman College took the first position with 100% success. They say this is due to a rigorous program followed by the students.
The secret of the success of College Liberman lies in the specificity of the approach to pedagogy, namely the Ignatian pedagogy, which emphasizes very much, I would say, 4 dimensions. First, consciousness, to raise the consciousness of the person to know oneself and know the talents and the capacity and capabilities of the student. The second one is competence, which is know-how, but as well as skills that the student have to acquire and develop. The third one is compassion, because there is a cura personalis, which is the care personalized to each student that has the opportunity to grow according to his or her talents or her capabilities.
To teachers, these performances, which can be described as exceptional, clearly confirms the seriousness, quality and discipline practiced in private Catholic schools.
What we do to each student is that we follow them up personally. Students who are weak, they are weak in core subjects. We have the remedial classes which the school administration put in place. These classes help to boost these learners so that they can meet up with other students. So at the end of the day, we don't have very weak students and we don't have very perfect students. So there's actually these remedial classes bring us together this point. And we have discipline at the level of the teachers and the students.
With a success rate of over 46% and 204,970 successful candidates, this ranking reveals the results of the 2,123 institutions that presented candidates for official exams.
And on to one of our top stories tonight. Cameroon's fourth general population in housing census combines with agriculture and livestock census, which is scheduled to take place from April the 24th to May the 29th, 2025, comes several years after the last one in 2005. Observers across Cameroon are questioning the outcome, considering the fact that it is taking place in a context of mass population movement in crisis-stricken zones of the country, notably the northwest, the southwest, and the far north region. Immaculate Fogorada, Babila Jonathan has more in the following report.
Ahead of Cameroon's fourth general population and housing census, combined with the agriculture and livestock census scheduled to take place on April 24 to May 29, 2026, observers are asking the question, what has been happening for the past decade since the last census was carried out in 2005?
Between then and now, no one is aware of the housing and population census of Cameroon. What parameter has the government been using to distribute the social facilities of a country like Cameroon? Because all of this, without being or claiming to be an economist, we know that the distribution of national resources plus its income, and to tackle serious problems like problems of unemployment, underdevelopment, at every level, people know that there is zero checks and balances. And so people focus more on embezzling what is in the country, stealing money, rather than doing what is supposed to be done. I mean, it's a disgrace. I think they were supposed to even do it silently so that no part of the world should know that Cameroon has been living for this long time without knowing exactly what its population is in different regions. And they will come to tell you about regional equality, regional balance. Where I have been asking, where do they take their statistics to do the regional balance?
The census is being carried out at the time when the security conflicts in the far north, northwest and southwest regions of the country are causing massive displacements from villages to safer localities, mainly out of the regions. In the crisis-stricken northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon, inhabitants of several villages have deserted due to insecurity. They are seeking refuge elsewhere and will be counted as inhabitants of the places where they are currently seeking temporary refuge.
If you are asking what becomes of those who have deserted the northwest and southwest because of war, or the war zones generally, they don't care about all of this. If people could vote, if ghosts could be counted as voters in northwest and southwest, that's exactly the same thing that is going to happen with this population count. I am telling you, there will be numbers of people who do not live in northwest, including those who have been killed in the bushes. There will be those who have been displaced, that their names will appear in names in, you will see names from Batibo, Furawa, Kom, Boabua, that the people do not live in Kom. Because first of all, I'm doubting their competence in even counting. So if people during elections were counted as voters in northwest and southwest, what is telling you that they are not going to be counted for the in the exercise of the population census?
Observers are thus raising concerns about the socio-economic and political impact of the outcome of the census that will be carried out.
Staffman Babila Jonathan reporting there on that major story relating to the head count or population, general population census that is built to begin next month, April, across Cameroon. It is coming several years after the last census was conducted in 2005. And now, away from that, we're talking health in this edition of the news to say that glaucoma is a leading cause of blindness across Cameroon, affecting approximately 5.5% of the population, often without early symptoms. Experts in the city of Douala warn that this silent killer is usually only detected when it is too late for many patients. To combat this, a free screening campaign is currently underway in Douala to promote early diagnosis and awareness. Lord Maniero has more in the following report.
Sophia, 70, and Pastor Galachat are patients suffering from glaucoma.
Because when I discovered that I am not, my eyes are running down, I quickly came to the hospital, but when they started the treatment, I saw that there is a little change.
According to an ophthalmologist at Acha Eye Hospital in Douala, approximately 5.5% of the Cameroonian population suffer from glaucoma. It is for this reason that the creation of awareness about the deadly effect of the silent eye killer is important.
We think has glaucoma. First of all, there are those that we suspect, and there are those that are obviously diagnosed glaucoma if we see them today. So the first thing we do is to counsel them. We start by explaining the disease condition, the effects on the eye, the long-term consequences, and the treatment plan.
Statistics have shown that glaucoma is the third leading cause of blindness in the world. The ophthalmologist says Cameroonians must know their eye conditions.
There is no single person, there is no single country, and there is no single health system that can actually handle the challenge of glaucoma alone. That is why the World Glaucoma Association has called this campaign to create this awareness worldwide.
Nicknamed as a silent eye killer, glaucoma has no symptoms, but with regular eye consultation, one can be diagnosed of it in its early age. Celebrated under the theme Uniting for the Glaucoma-Free World, the free eye consultation continues at Acha Eye Hospital till this Friday.
And it is with Law Maniero on glaucoma and health that we end this edition of News on Equinoxe Television. We thank you immensely, ladies and gentlemen, for your keen attention, for your trust, and for being with us from Monday through this Friday. Our next edition of News will be in the French language. That will be today at 8 p.m. But as for me, take the rendezvous for Monday on same platform for another fresh dose of the primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television. Have a nice weekend.